Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Seema, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Kaveri Institute of Technology, Mandya. Today in this session, I'll explain the concepts of object-oriented programming in Java. Object-oriented programming is at the core of a Java. In fact, all the Java programs are to at least some extent. For some extent, they'll use a object-oriented scenario. So in fact, all the Java programs or some extent they'll use a object-oriented concepts. So let's see what is an object-oriented programming do mean. So object-oriented programming is a methodology or it's a paradigm using which we can design our software program. So it's a method or a paradigm which is used to create our software programs. So now there are two major words which we need to focus on in case of object-oriented programming is the first one is an object and the second one is a classes. So these are the two major words which we need to focus on whenever we are go through with object-oriented programming. Now the question is why the objects come first than the classes is because the term itself says that it's an object oriented, not a class oriented. So as the name suggests that it's an object oriented. So in every object oriented programming languages, the objects will first comes, then the classes will comes. The objects will come first, then followed by the classes will comes. So object oriented paradigm or object-oriented programming is a methodology which is used to design a software programs using two different entities called as an objects and classes. We'll discuss about the objects and classes in this session. So the main purpose or the main aim of object-oriented programming is to implement the real-world entities. So by implementing the real-world entities, we can increase the flexibility and we can also increase the maintainability. So the main purpose of an object-oriented programming is to implement the real-world entities. So thereby it increases the flexibility and the maintainability of a program. So this is the main aim or the main purpose of an object-oriented programming. So everything in Java, each and every aspects in Java is associated with two major things, that is a classes and objects along with its attributes and methods. So together with its behaviors and functionality, everything in Java is associated with classes and objects. This object-oriented programming brings the data together and its behavior in a single location or into a single objects. So let's discuss on object. What does an object mean? Why do we require an object? What is the representation of an object? So guys, object is a real world entity. So when I say a real world entity, what it does mean? What do you mean by a real world entity? So it means that a real world entity means anything which we can see. So it's an anything which we can see or which we can touch or which we can feel. So a real world entity is anything which we can see, which we can touch, which we can feel. So an object is a real world entity which we can touch, see and feel. So an object is an entity which we can touch, feel and which can viewable. So this is about a real world entity. So this real world entities has some states, behavior and identity. So every object will have some states and behaviors. So this state is also called as an attribute. This state is also called as a attribute or it's also called as a properties. The state is also called as an attribute, or it is also called as a properties, whereas the behavior is also called as a methods, or it is also called as a functions. So the behaviors are also called as a methods, or it is also called as a functions, whereas the identity is a unique name, is an unique name which is used to identify an object. So an identity is a unique name which is used to identify an object. So the examples, some of the examples of an objects are a laptop, mobile phones, chair, table, fans, anything, whatever we see, we touch and feel, all are comes under objects. Of even you and me are also the example of an objects. We human beings are also an examples of objects. Even you and me are the examples of objects. So this objects can be a physical entity, or it can be a logical entity. As I said, an object is a real world entity. It can be either a logical entity or it can be a physical entity. So an object can be defined as an instance of classes, or it can also be an instance of multiple instance of classes. An object can be defined as an instance of classes. There can be a multiple instance of classes in a single programs. This objects will store its information in its attributes or states and discloses its behaviors through the methods. This objects will store the information about the states and behaviors. So each and every objects communicate without knowing the details of each other's data or each other's code. Whenever the communication occurs between two different objects, they don't know anything about their states, or they don't know anything about their behaviors. So without knowing the internal details of an object, two different objects can communicate with each others. So the only necessary thing is the type of messages being accepted and the type of response which will given back to the object. So whenever there is a communication occurs between a two different entities or the two different objects, the very necessary thing is the type of messages which are accepted and the type of responses which we need to give back. So that is the only thing which is necessary when there is a communication occurs between two different objects. So here is an example of an object. So here the dog. Here we have a dog. So this is an identity. This represents an identity. The name, the dog itself represents an identity of an object. So here the state, which consists of a name, color, breed, and hungry. It represents the state of an object, or in other names, it is also called as an attribute of an object. So this represents the states of a object called dog, which is represented by the name of an object, color of an object, breed of a dog, the status of an hungry. So the behavior is also called as a method. So it represents the behavior of an object that give the representation of barking of a dog, fetching, wagging, and how the tail of a dog looks like. It gives the description about a dog barking style, fetching, wagging, and how the tail will actually look. So this is an example of object called dog. So this is an example of an object called dog. So let's move on to know about the classes. So a classes is a group of objects, or in other words, it's a collection of objects. So it is a logical entity. A class is a logical entity. It cannot be a physical entity. It's only a logical entity. So it's a template or a blueprint. Class is a template or a blueprint from which the objects are created. So by using a classes, we are going to create objects. So this class doesn't consume any memory spaces. So here are some examples of classes. So in this example, we will have a class called a phone. So here we have a class called phone, in which there is a collections of phones are there. Here we have a collections of phones. Either we have a landlines, or we have different types of landlines we have. So and we have a different types of Android phones. So these together will called as a collections of phones. So it will comes under a phone class. So in this example, it contains a group of phones or a collections of different types of phones, but all these types of phones are used for a common purpose. So that is, all these phones are used for a calling purpose. So the method or the functionality of this phone is for calling purpose. And one more example, here we have a vehicle class. So in this example, we have a different types of vehicles, like we have a truck, we have a car, we have a bike, we have a moped, along with they have a bus, ambulance. But all these vehicles are used for transportation purpose. All these vehicles are used for traveling. So these are come under vehicle class with the common purpose, which is called as a transportation, or which is used for a traveling cases. So these are the examples of classes. Let's go and get a clear understanding about objects and classes. So here, the objects and classes are the two main aspects of object-oriented programming. As I said, a class is a template for an object, and an object is an instance of a particular class. So when the individual objects are created, they inherit all the variables and methods from a classes. They inherit all the attributes and functionality from the classes. So each and every object will inherit all the information from a particular objects. So here we have a different examples. So here in this example, we have a class called car, which gives a different names with different types of cars. So which eventually called as an objects. So Jaguar, Volvo, BMW are the objects of a class called car. So these are the different types of cars which are used for a traveling purpose. So these three, Jaguar, Volvo and BMW, all together are come under a classes of a car which is used for a traveling purpose. So the object car, object Jaguar is a car of class car. So similarly, we have one more example. Here, mango, pineapple and watermelon are the instance of fruit class. This mango, pineapple, watermelon, the objects mango, pineapple, watermelon are the instance of class fruits. So here there is a one more example. So here we have an object called dog. So here we have an object called dog. This is an identity which is used to represent a unique name of an object. So this is representing an unique ID, that is a dog. Here we have a different states are also called as a fields, or also called as an attributes, and we have a methods or nothing but a behaviors. So this dog objects has states as well as a methods. So in case of states, we have a breed of a dog, size of a dog, color of a dog, and the age of a dog. So in case of a methods, we'll have a different behaviors, that is the eating style or the food that the dog will eat, running, sleeping, and the name of a particular dog. In order to distinguish different classes of a dog, we have these two things in order to distinguish the different classes of a dog. So we have a different dogs, different types of a dog based on different states or based on a different behaviors, which are the classes of an object. So these are the different classes of dogs. So here the bulldog, beagle, German shepherd will form a class dog. They will together form the class dog. This bulldog, beagle, German shepherd will together form a class called dog, all together called as a dog, class dog. So this is the best example in order to distinguish about a classes and objects, or in order to understand about a classes and objects. Similarly, we have one more example called as a car. We have a classes and objects for a car. Here we have a class car with a model, color and brand as a states, which is also called as a data members. And we have a behaviors or methods as speed and size of a car. So here Ertiga car, the car Ertiga is an object or is an instance of class car. This Ertiga is an object of instance class car. However, each brand of car will have its own methods and will have its own behavior. So each and every car will have its own methods and it has its own behavior. So this car is a model called Ertiga with color maroon from the brand Maruti, whereas the second one is a model from XUV 500 with a color black and the brand is Mahindra. The last one is the model Swift with the color red, which will come from the brand called Maruti. So all these three cars will come under a class called a car, whichever the name it is, whichever the brand it is, whichever the model it is, but all together will come in a class called car. So this is an example. This is a one more example for a understanding of classes and objects. So that's all about objects and classes. That's all about an objects and classes. Thank you.